We're headed to El Salvador.
We're going down to El Salvador.
We're on our way to El Salvador to meet with our estate owners and to start doing some on-site research and learning what we can do with Love Abounds to effectively impact the communities where we source our beans from.
Me, TJ, and Phil are going to make kind of a short little documentary about what we're doing in El Salvador.
I'm really excited to work with these guys and capture the story of what we might do down there through Love Abounds. I can't believe I left my family. That was pretty tough.
I've never been away from my wife for more than 4 or 5 days, and we're going to be gone for a week.
As many people know, that country isn't doing great.
A little nerve-wracking just because it's not necessarily the safest place in the world.
We're all eager to get there and see what it's going to be all about and how we can contribute.
I'm ready to go down there and see what we can do to help.
So I'm looking forward to leaving feeling like our estate owners and their families and the people who work for them feel like family to us.
We're definitely there representing Dutch Bros. I don't take that lightly at all. It's been something that's been on my heart quite a bit, and so I want to make sure that, you know, I do my part while we're there.
Yeah, traveling. It's pretty neat.
It's pretty neat.
I'd like to start off by saying I don't want to do this if you guys are tired. Wait, something on the lens? No, we're good.
So today was our first full day in El Salvador, and as you can see, my hair has grown at least one size. Coming down here, there was a lot of work that went in ahead of time in terms of determining where we wanted to visit, who we wanted to meet. But another piece of that was connecting with Carlos and Rico. Carlos in particular already has a heart for philanthropy and is invested in his community. One of the things that has inspired me in this process is watching him. He has such a heart for his home and the people. And that is moving in a way that I can't explain.
That man is, he's a deep well of ideas and heart.
You know, he could just be a coffee farmer and make money and, you know, live a peaceful life, but he wants change. I hope Dutch Bros as a company gets to really know who he is.
We started off going to Stove Team.
They produce stoves that are highly efficient, cool to the touch, and one of the #1 killers for children under the age of 4 in countries like El Salvador and Central America, where they have open pit cooking flame, is
The smoke causing lung issues in kids and adults, and it's killing a lot of people.
We met Gustavo, who is the entrepreneur of that venture. He is innovating and developing cleaner cooking and heating methods that are affordable for the El Salvadoran people.
The way that he built it can save so many lives, especially young children, babies, and with their lung development. And then also environmentally, it just doesn't take as much wood to get the stove going.
It's just cool to see, even in a country that is third world, that there are just people who have hopes and dreams and they want to make a better future for their people.
Yesterday, not gonna lie, I was pretty tired. Jen came up with the term slangry. Kind of like hangry, but I was sleep deprived.
We started off by going to one of the schools near Carlos's farm.
You had to drive up the side of the mountain to get to the school. You had to see the school gated off with like barbed wire with a fence in front.
The school has 396 students.
That was pretty emotional for me and for a lot of reasons. I miss my son, I miss my family at home. And so seeing all those kiddos running around, smiling, having a good time was making me think of them.
We had a chance to see their technology classroom and learn a little bit about the program they're doing and the successes they're having and the graduation rates that are going up and the success stories that the children are having as they leave. And it was really incredible. You could see the pride in the parents' faces as they talked about what their children were able to do now that this was available to them.
While we were there, they pulled up the computer screens for our website and ended up on our Dutchware site where TJ has graced us all with his good looks and modeled some of the gear there.
Kid's like looking at Dutchware, then he's like looking at me, and then he's like looking back. And he's like looking at me, and then he like made the connection. And I like looked over him and like, what's up?
He became an instant celebrity. So I took a few pictures of them together, and they were just googly-eyed at him. They wanted his number and his Facebook information and kind of arguing over who got to be next to him in the photo, and it was cute. It was super cute. We presented them with a ping pong table, which is near and dear to my heart. I love ping pong. And Carlos and I played some ping pong in front of all 400 students. I was in a weird spot because I don't want to lose, but I felt weird just going for it. And I think I got too much into my head.
Oh no!
And he beat me. He beat me.
Carlos beat Daniel, no big deal. Probably one of my favorite moments was going to the younger kids' classroom. Stephanie sang some Spanish songs, and they did this little dance around the classroom.
It was just super cute watching them get into the songs and smiling, laughing, and singing, and kind of, they were singing this elephant song where they were running around the room. It was cute.
As we left the school, I was just so moved at the parental involvement and the pride that everybody had in those children. The graduating class asked to take their picture with us, and I thought, wow, there's this large number of kids who are graduating this year in part because of the investments that Carlos has made.
After the school, we went out to see Carlos's farm. We were in the back of a truck riding around, seeing different parts of the farm.
Just these vistas and these views that you could not believe.
You get to this point, and you're on the edge of this mountain, and you just look out, and it's greenery everywhere, and this is beautiful. And then you like really look around you, and there's coffee plants everywhere.
Literally, all the coffee plants, they're just on the side of the volcano and of the mountain.
And we were able to stop and walk through the fields and see different plants, learn quite a bit about the farm, but more importantly, I think learn a lot about Carlos and his approach to his workers and his love for the land and his passion for what he does.
Carlos provides meals for his people, and so we got to visit the kitchen that they use and watch one of the ladies preparing corn for pupusas, which is a staple that they eat here.
Pupusas. Pupusas, pupusas, pupusas. My gosh, these things are phenomenal.
You probably heard Daniel talk about pupusas.
It's like a homemade corn tortilla with cheese inside, and you have this salsa that's kind of like tapatio, but just way better, and it's all homemade. We've had it like 4 times since we've been here. Those are really, really good.
Then we went to the mill where the coffee is processed, either washed, unwashed, husked, and prepped for bags and for shipping.
We got to see the mill, and it's phenomenal. Stacks of beans as far as you can see, and when you're looking into a building, there's a storage for 2.4 million pounds of beans. It's overwhelming.
This mill, it's like on the side of this mountain, like middle of nowhere. I'm like, this would be sick for like a James Bond film. That'd be awesome.
Because it's the off season, there's not a lot of picking going on. At the mill itself, it was pretty quiet as well, but when we got into kind of their packing room,
We got there at a time when our Dutch Bros coffee beans were being bagged.
How labor intensive it is crazy.
I was seeing the work that it takes to get those beans to us.
One guy's filling up a bag. They're sewing them. Then the two other guys are taking these 150-pound bags and putting them on their back and they're stacking them. And I thought I worked like a Harvey's work once in my life. I mean, they do that every day.
Being able to experience this, I have such a deep appreciation for everything that they do here and how hard they work.
The lion's share of the work that happens before it gets to Dutch Bros and is roasted, I'm just guessing in the realm of like 80 or 90%.
I've always had a respect for our coffee, but I didn't understand how far it goes and how much goes into our bean before we even get it at the warehouse to be roasted.
We spent about a day meeting with different nonprofits that are working in El Salvador to help create economic opportunity, reduce violence, and just service the problems that this culture faces.
We've had quite a few meetings and they have been just so inspirational.
Your gut reaction is to want to try to help everyone, and that's just not the reality. Knowing there's this much need and trying to do the most you can with what you've got.
There's a lot of passion with these organizations, and you can see it.
They talked about just so many different things they do with youth, healthcare in the communities in El Salvador. They had just a lot of the stories that were really moving in how they made a difference with the projects that they've worked on with youth and sports, helping build self-esteem in girls. Usually when a girl gets pregnant and it's as young as 12 years old, it's really hard to get them back into school. Back home, we dream to go to college, and here they really push kids to dream to go to high school because many kids never make it to high school. They start working on the farms. Maybe it's because their family's pressuring them to help support the family or because of other reasons.
And the thing that struck me was their efforts with sports. I mean, I know when I was a kid growing up that without sports or my extracurricular activities in school, it would be boring. And I'd have less of a buy-in to want to go back. I'm a firm believer that sports can provide life skills.
We also met with the UN World Food Program.
Some of these kids' growth is stunted, not only physically, but also mentally as well. When your brain isn't able to fully develop as a young age, it never really does for the rest of your life. So these effects will last a lifetime. The World Food Program has found a way to try and change this. Within the first 1,000 days, including the first 9 months that the baby is in the womb and the 2 years after the baby is born, they have created this powder that has important minerals and vitamins they can take to decrease the rates of stunting and malnourishment.
They started a street art program where kids are coming through and they're working on these projects. It takes about a full year.
They bring in street artists from throughout the world. They then work with local youth in the community. The kids get to be a part of the planning process, thinking of what design is going to be done.
The art piece has to, tell a story, a positive story, approach things in a way that has depth and meaning.
We went to a few of the locations that the street art was done. We met the kids that participated. It was really cool to see how proud the kids were of their work.
One company I really connected with was Techo, and we heard from them today.
They build homes throughout Latin America.
A big part of what they do is they build homes in the slums areas where there's a lot of housing issues.
Essentially, 10 individuals donate $3 a day for 3 months. And then at the end of that process, those 10 volunteers come down to El Salvador and they help build a home in 2 days.
Right away, that had me clicking and thinking and knowing that we've got endless amounts of people that work for Dutch Bros that are looking for ways to serve, looking for ways to help in any way we can. And if we can do that at Origin, down here in El Salvador or Brazil or Colombia, anywhere, there's so much value there.
If we can put a family into a house that has a roof that doesn't leak, then that means that family is going to sleep better. They're not going to be spending their money trying to keep their roof from leaking. That means they can spend that money on necessities or education.
Overall, I'm definitely changed from this trip.
I'm sad to leave, but I'm excited for the future of what Dutch Bros can do down here.
And no matter what, we're going to help change this country. We're going to help change lives.
We're all people. And we all have relationships, and that's what connects us all.
This trip has been forever something I will remember and something I will always be thankful for to Dutch Bros and everyone that helped make it possible. So thank you.
We went down to El Salvador to develop long-term relationships with the organizations that Love Abounds is going to work with. When I consider the conversations we had and the realities of violence that permeated those conversations, and I reflect on the heart that these people we've met with put into the work they do every day, and that they show up every day to make a change, it's mind-blowing. I look forward to when the conversations shift and are about education, opportunities, about love and hope. I appreciate that we had a unique opportunity not only to visit our farms, but to really dive into the challenges that El Salvador faces. And I recognize that many others would have loved to have joined us. And as we started talking about why we were going, so many people here at Dutch Bros instantly said, "Say when." Tell me when I can go. I want to build houses. I want to teach English, coach soccer. I want to help. To me, the heart that we have surrounding us here at DBE is inspiring. It tells me that we will get through things no matter what. It won't always be easy. Sometimes it'll be a challenge. It won't always be fun, but we'll come through it. We'll be stronger, and we'll make it with love. Because love abounds.